If he was lying about his age, then he is stating clearly, not sarcastically, that his books are a fraud and that the government is right about all things. We know Kevin Trudeau better than this. So why does his birth certificate say he is only 45? While those in the secret societies have to hide their true identities and ages because no one would believe they live that long and look that young. They also do this so you won't be able to discern their previous identity and life, exposing them for the previous historical figures they were years ago, protecting them from any prejudice, thus allowing the masses to think it is normal to be sick and age quickly and die, thus vibrating said early death into their lives for the purpose of eugenics. Kevin wants to show he has come forward and has left that deceptive way of life to help us live long and be cured of all disease. So he wants us to realize this and believe he is in fact this old, looking this young, thus giving full validation that he speaks the truth in his books and in all things Global Information Network. Who do you listen to, and why? And I want to point out here that Bob Trudeau, Sarah Behrens, and Abe Hussein are probably all gin trolls and or genius con artists. They're just plain stupid. And you morons think Dr. Caldwell wants them to lead the Global Information Network? Okay, Dr. Caldwell is hacked everywhere on Facebook, you morons. If Dr. Caldwell was fired and quit gin, why the hell is he still in my back office? Yes, his products aren't on the store, but what does that have to do with anything? Anything suspicious yet? Why listen to Fred on Facebook claim Dr. C quit and is being punished by an egotistical Kevin Trudeau? Anything suspicious yet? What about the mass arrests of the parasitical elite coming up in the next few months? Any connection to a possible vacation for Kevin Trudeau and Dr. Caldwell? Anything suspicious yet? I have balls, and I don't care if you disagree with me, because I'm creating the future. Also, why would Fred and Dr. Caldwell and Kevin Trudeau act like little envious children? A house divided against itself cannot stand. Nor do I ever recommend a snake should eat itself from the tail, you idiots. It is as simple as this. The Global Information Network Council has created and is carrying out a master plan that will effectually ensure the weeding out of vibrationally, energetically incompetent GIN members and spies. It was also to ensure that anyone who wants to join GIN for selfish or parasitical reasons would be demotivated from even joining when they would be exposed to the lies being masterfully perpetrated. This was the plan of the founding council all along, and stupid people will take the bait. Remember, artists use lies to tell the truth, while corrupt government uses them to cover up the truth. None of the GIN Council are individuals who seek to spread true deception. These are men of the highest integrity and character. Am I saying that it may certainly be the case that Dr. Caldwell is actually spreading the discord on his Facebook and websites at the behest of the GIN Council to weed out undesirables? Quite certainly I'm granting you the ability to see how that would be the case. I will quote the hacker right now to put this to rest. Since it seems Kevin Trudeau or his behavior or decisions could be the main threat to the future existence of GIN, and since he states anyway that he is only a speaker for GIN, not owner or manager or officer, why does he not simply step aside and is showing us the books and the true financial statements and let a man like Ron Ball that we all love and trust run and hopefully save our club? Yes, there are builders and destroyers. Why don't we support the builders and get rid of the destroyers? We are the builders. Let's save GIN, I would tell them. Kevin needs to go. If you agree with me, call GIN's customer service in the GIN office and tell them Kevin needs to go and ask for answers to this first series of questions. More to come. Or if they don't answer your questions about your own member-owned club, I would tell them Kevin needs to go. Personally, I would ask for a refund if I would be owed any money or products, or ask for a sworn affidavit stating the date and time when your order will be fulfilled. If we really want to save GIN, then I believe time is of the essence, and we need to act fast. All the above is based on my personal opinion, conversations with staff members, and personal research. It is based on my personal conclusion and the use of common sense. It is just my opinion, but I may be right. If needed, more questions and substantiation will follow. As potential officers for GIN, I would suggest Ron Ball as director, Matthew Losera, Michael Jaspin, Marjorie A. Leong, Dr. Mortar, Sr., Roval M. Guzman, and the 12 highest money makers in the club. As control officer, I would suggest Abe Hussein. Now, isn't it interesting, folks, that Abe Hussein and all these people are the 12 highest moneymakers in the club, Abe Hussein is poor. He probably doesn't even make $2,000 a month, okay? He's not made a single dime off of gin. I know this guy. He's a troll, he's a liar, he's a scam artist, he's a spy, okay? And I know that the Mortars are not the 12 top money earners. Kevin Trudeau has been a billionaire longer than you and I have been alive, okay? He's probably one of the richest men in the world, if not the most powerful man in existence. Keep in mind, he was the very first individual, the only individual in history to ever come out of the societies and expose all this inside information, which has cured me of bipolar, hyperthyroid. Last year I lost 60 pounds in 60 days, and as of today I've lost 30 pounds in just 15 days. And we're expected to believe, according to Dr. Caldwell's words on Facebook or on his website, that Kevin Trudeau's a liar and he needs to go. Is this really Dr. C talking? As advisory council, I would suggest Theresa Dale, Dr. Sherry Tenpenny, Mary Miller, Juanita Ecker, and Dr. Ron Janner, as well as Bob Trudeau. Now, folks, Bob Trudeau is poor. He is impoverished, and as far as I understand, he's not even still in gin. And if he is, he's only an affiliate, because him and Sarah Bareilles have been spreading lies about Kevin, saying, no, he's not 76, he's lying in his books and all this kind of jazz. And so we want Bob Trudeau, supposedly one of the 12 highest moneymakers in the club, to what? To be a leader in the Global Information Network? Come on, folks.
And Bobby's entire success has been and was due to Kevin. And yet, no matter how much Kevin gave, did, or whatever, Bobby was ungrateful. What his motivation is now, I don't know. Making a joke of Jen,
right,
and Kevin's brother, which tells you, does he listen? Does he anything? So at this point, just, if there's a reason that you develop a relationship, you want to be his friend, fine. Listening to anything he says with any weight of truth, no. Could he be using half-truths? Absolutely. For crying out loud, is his brother, Kevin. I mean, the only time I see Kevin reverting into a typical sibling rivalry situation is when he's talking to his brother. I mean, then he turns into, a brother. He's no longer Kevin Trudeau. I mean, it's, they're still brothers. It's absolutely the most humorous thing I've ever seen. A billionaire turning into a brother. Almost right. Out of control with frustration. But, no, Bobby, you can't rely on anything that Bobby says. And as far as, the whole thing with the secret societies, his original mentors, look, Kevin had some very key mentors. As I say, I was probably his first real mentor. He called me every day, sometimes 2 and 3 times a day. Called me before he went to Chicago to go, for the memory thing. Should I, shouldn't I, etc. I mean, years of this. And then the calls got further and further between because he had the knowledge. And he only calls me when it really is something like in water or something where it's really kind of a fire out there. Well, Fred will probably know that one because he knows more than I know on almost everything. So I'm just saying Kevin's a real deal. But what he has done is he's condensed a number of his mentors into, what's the term he uses, his uncle. Now, do you understand the necessity? Rather than each time saying, well, Fred Demler, and this and that. And then you have people saying, well, geez, Kevin's a billionaire. How come Fred is not a billionaire? And, to alleviate all of that, he lumped all of his mentors into uncle. Now, do you understand?
Yes. Yeah, it makes sense. Because my only concern was that, and I'm so glad you called, and I didn't want to take up too much of your time. So.
And losers, and I will call Bobby a loser, he was, it appeared he had finally started to get his act together when he did the HCG diet. He lost some weight. It looked like he was starting to get his confidence back, or getting his confidence, never had any. And then I thought, geez, he's almost become likable, because I've always tried. And then he took the dive. And I even called and just, made some communication. And it appeared he appreciated it, but I don't know where he's gone. I mean, no stability there. But I do know Kevin has stability, and I do know Kevin's consistent desire is for clarity for people. Everything he does is simplify. And there's a reason I listened to the first CD and Your Wish Is Your Command 10 times before I went on to the second CD. I allowed him out every word that comes out of Kevin's mouth for years. I taught him most of it. And then all of a sudden he brings out these CDs with a voice inflection. Everything has changed. And I'm going, whoa. And I wanted to know. I wanted to know, what is he doing here? And I would go to sleep with all those CDs on my computer, an endless loop cassette, endless loop type thing. You can see I'm dated with cassettes. And, upstairs, so it wouldn't keep my wife awake, just trying to, absorb as much as I could with my crazy schedule. I'm just saying that's how profound what Kevin has done and is doing. And I happen to be here with Joel Bauer, and Kevin happens to be sitting there amongst 50 people, and his words to Joel, don't do anything special, and he meant it. I would like to just enjoy these 50 people and let them be real around me and me be real. And it's hard when you have someone of that success, and there are some very successful, powerful people in the room, but there's no question Kevin is the top dog. And yet with all the humility and sensitivity and brilliance that Kevin always brings to the table, you go with those who have something to offer you. And I will tell you, Kevin Trudeau has everything to offer you if you wish to partake. He forces nothing on anybody, not from me. He doesn't say, Fred, you really got to do this. He doesn't ever do that. He frustrates me. He says, Fred, you might want to take a look at this. He really knows that this is going to be hot. But no, he does that, and I have to remember, well, that means I should do it. Because otherwise I just go, yeah, I'll make it to it.
I really appreciate this, because Kevin has changed my life in so many ways, and that was why I was confused, because I mean, my life has been revolutionized by this man. So, and like you said, Kevin's healthy, he's happy, he's got his head on his shoulders, so